Hello there guys, welcome back to Easy Tutorials by Dave. This one's all about the selection and navigation. Now what I will say to you at this point, if you haven't seen the video, if you haven't watched the video formatting chords, I would strongly recommend go and view that first before you view this video, because it'll explain things that I'm going to be talking about. Like formatting codes and things like that, paragraphs and new lines, because you have to understand that before you can understand the video and what I'm talking about. Now the first thing that I'm going to walk you through is obviously navigating the document. And when you go into a document, if I just zoom in a little bit, and I zoom in at the, let's say, page width will be fine. Notice here my cursor is flashing here at the beginning of the document, and to select the data we just highlight the data along there like that, and that's how 99% of all people select data when they're using Microsoft Word. So let's say for instance that they want to select this paragraph, they just come down here and they highlight it like so, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But what you've got to be careful of when you're doing it with this method is there's a thing in Word called drag and drop. And what it does, you'll go to highlight something, and let's imagine that you highlight I am pleased to recommend, and then you've lost it at this point. When you go back to try again, notice if you don't deselect this properly and then you drag this, notice that little fuzzy line that's coming round on my pointer. When you let go, you've actually moved that text, and it's called drag and drop. Now when you use drag and drop, it's really positive and it's a really good method, and we do use drag and drop on a regular basis. But to avoid that and to prevent it from happening, there's a thing in Microsoft Word, and it's called the selection bar. Now the selection bar is invisible, and it's in this area here, this little area here, right down the document. So if the document was 10 pages, this is the area that we're talking about. And if you watch my pointer, notice my pointer at the moment here is what we call a beam, and that beam is there so I can place that little cursor exactly where I want it to be. So imagine that I want to place that cursor in between the R and the S here. I just click, notice it's there. And when it's a beam, you can literally select in the method that you're always doing now, which is this, and that's fine. But watch this. If you come over to the margin, to the edge there, and we go as though we're going over to the left, notice my mouse pointer is changing shape. Now when I get my mouse pointer at this point here, and it's a pointer pointing to the right, I'm in what we call the selection bar. So if I click and once, notice, does the entire line. Now watch this. If I click and hold and then come down, look at that. I've got so much control, guys, it's untrue. And it's really good. And that's what you do. That's how you do it. Now, sometimes you want to highlight just a paragraph. Now, if you haven't gone on the previous video, you won't understand what I'm talking about. But to put the formatting codes on, notice there's my formatting codes. Now that's your first paragraph. That's a second paragraph. That's a third paragraph. So if you're in here and you double click, notice it'll do a paragraph. But if you line it up with just one line, it'll just do one line. So if you're on one line, it's one line like that. If you double click it, it's a paragraph. If you triple click it, it's the entire document. But you don't want, if you want more than one paragraph, which in this case we would want to, you would have to click on that one, keep hold of the mouse and drag it down manually. And then that's how it would work. Another way of selecting data is if you place your cursor in a word and you're double clicking, that'll do the word. If you triple click, it'll do the paragraph. See? So it's double click, triple click. And that's how you select with the mouse. Now then, the next little bit's going to be about the navigation. Now, if you're at the beginning of a line, which my little cursor is there, and you can use your arrow keys to go one character at a time. That goes one right, one left, one down, one up. So literally, you can use your arrow keys. Or you could just simply place your cursor, between two lines with the mouse and click, and it goes where you want it to do. Now, alternatively to that, you could do Control right arrow key, and notice it goes one word at a time. Control left goes one word to the left, right? And then you could go Control down. Now what this does, this goes down one paragraph at a time. Now if you don't know what a paragraph is, you need to go and watch my other video, formatting codes. But what it means is that when you type text and then you press enter, that's one paragraph. Now the good thing about this is that if you learn the navigation keys, you can then learn how to select as well by a mouse as well. So if you're there and you do Control down, it goes one paragraph at a time, one up at a time. Yeah. Now watch this. If I want to highlight something, I do Control Shift down arrow. There's your first paragraph. Down arrow, second paragraph. Down arrow, third paragraph. So I can use the combination of the Shift key as well, and instead of moving, it will select. Likewise, if you're in the document and you do Control right arrow key, notice it's like I've already showed you, it's one word at a time. Well, if you combine that again with the Shift key, notice now you can select one word at a time, and that's really powerful. Let's imagine you were starting from here. It's just a Control right angle key. Simple, really good. Likewise, if you want to do end key, the end key will take you to the end of that line. The home key will take you to the beginning of the line. So if you do if you do Shift and end, it'll select it. Likewise backwards. So if you do Control end, it will go to the end of the document. And if you do home, it'll go to the beginning of the document. Now if I want to do the entire document, I do Control Shift end, and it'll select the entire document. Likewise, Control Shift home, and it'll go back to the beginning. So it's really quietly powerful on how you want to select your data and navigate your data as well. I hope you found this of interest. Have a little play with it, have a little practice with it. If you want to carrying on with the mouse, and there's not a problem with that, but just be aware if you do something like this, be just careful of that drag and drop, because that drag and drop can get you into trouble. But other than that, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. Don't forget, if you subscribe with our channel, we'll give you access to a little helpline. So if you get a problem, you can drop us a line and we'll give you a bit of help if we can. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you've enjoyed it. See you on the next one. Bye.